Welcome back, my delicious dumplings, to Quake Pro League Stage 2, Week 3. I am 40 Lions, joined by Lethal. And Lethal, we got your buddy up next. Old GaRpY versus k1llsen.
Yeah, look forward to this. I haven't casted GaRpY since 2017, I think. So it's nice to finally get to cast one of his matches against the powerhouse of k1llsen. It's going to be very difficult for GaRpY, as we know. He hasn't been in the Pro League in a while before this, but he's kind of edging his stride. Hasn't got a map as of yet. Could this be the time? We'll have to see, because k1llsen is a super aggro player. It's very difficult to try and work out sometimes, and it's hard to keep control. So, controlling the beast, and if you can, then well done. If not, it's you're going to feel it, and you're going to feel it hard. But good thing about GaRpY is more of a neutral, reactionary player. He does everything correct, everything perfect, and there's maybe elements of his gameplay where he overextends just a tad, or it can be a little bit passive. It's very interesting to see how he actually plays some of these maps out. But because he's reactionary, normally you'll see GaRpY play very solid during the first half. A lot of his maps, it just depends on the second half and what his opponent does, and like I said, how he reacts to it.
Is that just a really nice way of saying GaRpY chokes a lot? Did I just blow up your spot,
Maybe.
Lethal? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. No, much love to GaRpY working his way back into the Quake Pro League, as we saw in the last stage finals, but he's had a rough road. He's had a rough few weeks. It's only going to get worse. k1llsen is an absolute beast. We've seen him pop off time and time again with those rails and just turn into Railson, which is just another beast in and of itself. But we'll see. I mean, GaRpY, he's been here before, not in a while, but he's played with the best. He's won his fair share of tournaments and championships. So we'll see what he brings this week, but it's definitely going to be a rough road. k1llsen, always on fire. I think he dropped to Wenger last week 2-1, but those games between those two are always very back and forth, so that's not very telling in terms of k1llsen. We'll see. Again, it always comes down to me to the champion pick and the veto, if we can get into that and see kind of where we're heading on this series and what each player has to bring to the table. We got Strog and Peeker on Deep Embrace for k1llsen versus Keel, my buddy. I love Keel. BJ versus Ranger on Corrupted Keep, and then we're going to Exile. Anarchy versus Galena. Lethal, how do you break that down?
Nothing but small maps once again. Not really too much of a surprise. It's nice to see Exile again. I still feel like, with Exile, it's going to take at least 3 to 6 months for the meta to be established to a degree where we kind of understand who and what's going to do when and why. And it's funny because I remember k1llsen saying in one of his streams that he doesn't care who he plays against, what he does, he's going to ban Veil every single time without fail. He doesn't care about who it's against and what he's going to do. He will ban Veil. He absolutely despises that map. I don't think it's the fact that he can't play it very well. It's just more, he just doesn't enjoy it, which is understandable. If you don't enjoy a map, some people may be good at a map, but they don't enjoy it, and vice versa. It can be quite a strange feeling. But k1llsen, he hates Veil with an absolute passion, and a lot of people who also watch his streams probably have realised that his passion for Veil is literally downhill. He just does not like it, so I'm not surprised there. But Deep Embrace to start things off. To Strog versus the Kill, so at least GaRpY is the man who will be able to catch him out of those choke points. Hasn't got the mobility, but if he gets that first frag, then the ball is in his court. Corrupted Keep. We've got the BJ versus Ranger, pretty standard with the Nyx ban. And then we have the Anarchy versus the Galena. What do you think about the Anarchy on Exile? Because, with a champion like that, even though he's got the mobility, it's quite difficult to get out of certain scenarios. And I'm not really too sure in terms of my personal opinion, but what do you think?
I'm terrified because of all of the gaps and the voids that you could fall into, but I'm sure, k1llsen knows how to control Anarchy. He's no stranger. He's been putting in the work, so maybe he knows some crazy pathing across the map, getting that speed boost, getting the health stack. I feel like k1llsen is very aware of the literal pitfalls of that map, and I think he can navigate it beautifully. I am worried for GaRpY, though. I am worried for the boy. I hope he's had his tea. I hope he's ready. I hope the Meister boys have, polished his cane and his walker, and it should be a good one, though. It's always going to be a pleasure to watch these guys play, and hopefully GaRpY puts on a performance that we're used to seeing. It's been a rough road, but the biggest upsetting thing of that veto is GaRpY took away Nyx from k1llsen, which of course you should, because k1llsen's so good with Nyx, but that's the champ that he has the belt on, I believe one of them, and I really wanted to see that in game because the belt is fantastic in game. If you haven't seen the Vanities, shame on you. go watch the pros stream, because I think Rafa has a bunch, Cooler has one, k1llsen has two. It just looks gorgeous. So
it's beautiful, and
it's
we'll never get to have it.
Yeah, and we can't have nice things.
Lives.
It's GaRpY's fault we can't have nice things. But this is going to be a tough set for GaRpY, in my opinion. k1llsen might be able to take this at 3-0. We'll see if GaRpY can shut me up. I'm sure he can. We're going to start off on Deep Embrace, and it sounds like we're getting into it right now. So, chat, I think predictions are maybe closed. I'm not sure. Get in your last-minute predictions if you can. Lose some chat points, because that's what it's all about, as we're going to get into this one live. k1llsen versus GaRpY on Deep Embrace.
We are going to start off with GaRpY. I'm sure he's polished off his Zimmer frame. He's whizzing around the map to see what he can do from the start. But he does have the rail. He does a slight inkling of where he could be, but he hasn't really got any decent weapons in his arsenal to deal with any close range bouts which he may face. But does have a heavy machine gun. It's got the LG. What's missing is those rockets, but knows that k1llsen is just hiding around there. Just barely misses that rail, which is a bit of a shame. But it doesn't matter. Things could have been worse, as the Mega is up in the next second. Both his items will become at the exact same time. Not really segregated as of yet, but we'll see what happens, as GaRpY does have that height disadvantage, waiting for k1llsen to make that next move.
I already like the play from GaRpY, being very cautious. He doesn't want to give anything for free. Slow, methodical, almost landing these pineapples. Real close. Doing a good job of just dodging any damage from k1llsen.
GaRpY now. Some good pineapples just to keep him cornered off around that light armor area. But GaRpY is the one who has to drop. Hasn't got the stack to fight this. Needs to back away. Going back and forth just to keep k1llsen guessing. But k1llsen is on point with the audio cues, just trying to stay on top of him. But has decided to back away and see if he can get the heavy as well as the Mega, which he has done. But GaRpY's only on 21 HP. Gets taken out finally, after a minute and a half of play. And look at that, GaRpY's going straight in with the LG. We're about to clean him up. Just managed to. 91 HP though, so he definitely can make this next fight happen. Misses the first pineapple, but that doesn't matter. He's already done a huge chunk of damage with that LG. k1llsen is just sitting there, daring him to go for the heavy. But k1llsen's decided to back away. No, I'm not going to contest that. I haven't got the weapons in my arsenal again to fight this. I'm going to let GaRpY get the heavy and see where he can go from there, as he's holding that top mid angle.
Again, nice slow play from GaRpY here, tied it at 1, and that's good enough for him. He doesn't want to give away anything crazy. Deals with the peeker nicely there. Instant reaction. As now he's stuck in this awkward position where he just somehow hits that rail through the grate, and the tri-bolt just landing so much damage. k1llsen's so weak. GaRpY's going to be able to get this Mega for free. He does have to concede the heavy, but k1llsen's still low on health.
Oh, GaRpY. A very patient rail shot there. Could have gone for the first one, but decided to give himself a bit more breathing room to go for the second. Sadly missed it. k1llsen has evened up the stacks. He's just waiting for him to drop down, but finally he has. Good pineapple, good shotgun, and good rail to boot. That was beautiful stuff there from GaRpY.
Just a buffet of damage from GaRpY there, using everything at his disposal, looking like Jackie Chan. Look at all of this grenades, but he can't land. k1llsen gets around the corner, dodges the pineapples, gets that frag back almost immediately with the shotgun. Needs to be careful, the rocket's raining down. Good damage from GaRpY there. Doesn't really have a weapon to try and fight long range, unfortunately. k1llsen's so weak. 100 HP, no armor. Misses with the rail, and GaRpY wants this heavy real bad. There's the peeker, needs to deal with it, and he does. Actually, k1llsen may have blown it early there as he gets out of there. Still a little bit less than 100 HP for k1llsen. He needs to be careful.
I feel sorry for GaRpY earlier. I only needed one pineapple to take k1llsen down, and all three just waved past him. Ooh. But it doesn't matter though. Nice little sprinkle of bullets from that shotgun to actually be able to take him down. k1llsen was only on 11 HP, but GaRpY needs to back away here. You know, he got some of the stack. He knew that light was underneath, ready for him to pick up. But so far, so good for GaRpY. Has the lead, has the height advantage. He's got the top mid control. Good rocket, 71. But the peeker is going to make matters worse for GaRpY now, as k1llsen cleans up with the rocket. And where is he going to find GaRpY? GaRpY managed to get away straight away. and Mega's come up in the next second. k1llsen knows there's 2. He's trying to get there first before GaRpY does, but GaRpY still has the height advantage, so he needs to try and keep k1llsen at bay and see if he can contest this heavy straight afterwards.
Yeah, that peeker was huge. Slaps GaRpY right in the face with that schnitzel there. Tied 3-3. It's not the blood and gore that we're used to here, but it could be right now as k1llsen almost traps GaRpY. Luckily, he's able to drop down and create some distance. Stacks almost even. As k1llsen misses with that rail. Does have the peeker up momentarily. Now, ooh, that's a fantastic rail from GaRpY there. Finding all the angles, but a good reply from k1llsen on his volley. He's going to claim the Mega. The split is going to be maybe big enough for him to deal some damage here. He's got to be quick, and the pineapple will stop him dead in his tracks. But out comes the peeker, trying to do whatever damage he can. Drive by rail, and there it is. Can he get some more damage? Pineapple comes out, 79 HP from k1llsen, trying to fight from below, down to 55 as the rockets rain down through the wood crate barrel. Oh, what a rail. I can't even believe. I don't know. What do you do against that? He's turning into k1llsen, slowly but surely. He hits one, he chains together another, and then he's heating up, and he just turns into this absolute demon. There's a pineapple to grab as k1llsen finally misses one. And another pineapple. The citrus stacking up for GaRpY here, and he wants this frag real bad. k1llsen, can he do it? He switches to the peeker, and GaRpY pulls out the shotgun and says, no, I'm good, thanks.
Yeah, he's making an assumption that k1llsen's taking the mickey a bit, so he was like, no, I'm not having any of that. 4 HP though. Daring him to go bottom mid, but cleans him up with the shotgun. Beautiful stuff there from k1llsen. Good start rail there. Good pressure on spawn. Misses the second, but it doesn't matter, as he's always put GaRpY on that default stack. Misses another one, which is, very uncharacteristic of k1llsen, as he now goes top mid to see where GaRpY is going to play from next. Both these players have been trying to trade rails, but both of them have been missing it back and forth. But k1llsen finally hits one, hits another. He's going to try and finish him with the peeker. GaRpY's just on his last legs. Pineapple's been keeping him away, but not for long enough, as k1llsen increases his lead 6-4 and gets some good rails off the spawn from the LG area.
Just brutal right now. That was a fantastic pineapple, and it could have saved GaRpY's life. As he doubles back for the Mega, k1llsen will grab the heavy. Missing with a rail, hits with a follow-up as he's just taking all the angles now. The LG from GaRpY trying to keep him away. He's not getting the damage that he wants. Forced through the murder hole. There's another pineapple. GaRpY very, very weak. k1llsen on the hunt, trying to get this frag. There's the tickle, and there's the frag. Can't run away, they'll find me. As k1llsen up 3 minutes left, just under. GaRpY needs to come up with a plan here. Rail's going to be a good start, but he needs to be able to close the gap and actually get the frag. k1llsen's going to be able to create distance, get some damage on the plus back. That's huge, that rocket. Almost gets the rail conversion as well. GaRpY just gets caught with the wrong weapon out again, trying to hit the rails, and k1llsen takes the fight to him. Great rail off the spawn, make it 2. k1llsen's just feeling it now. He's warmed up, he's ready.
He certainly is. Had a little bit of a slow start. Has managed to change things over the last few minutes with his rail game. GaRpY though, showing signs of life. Does have a nice stack advantage. What's he going to do with it though? That's going to be the next question. He's going to try and stop him going for that rail, but it doesn't matter anyway. And it's k1llsen. Even though he hasn't got the rail, he can try and flank through it later on. 2 minutes left. GaRpY still has a bit of time to play with to get these 4 frags back. And the problem is he needs to try and have a decent enough stack, healthy enough you could say, to stay alive and force out these next engagements, as well as prioritising these items. But GaRpY is still looking good. He needs to decide on how he wants to approach this heavy. But that's not the best of starts, as the Tribot did a tickle of damage to keep GaRpY away. But this is good. k1llsen is just wasting time and doing a good job doing so. Assuming that he is at heavy, he's going to find him top mid now. Good rocket, good second rocket. Not a lot of damage, but it's kept him away. He's only on 76 HP, and he is the one with the stack advantage.
k1llsen's not going to drop. He's not going to do anything too crazy. He wants to make sure that this map is in the bag here. As 4 frags on this map, very, very doable based on the spawn. Great rail from GaRpY, but the return damage from k1llsen is strong enough to deter him ever so slightly. That's going to win k1llsen the heavy. GaRpY missing with the rail. every tick of time in favor of k1llsen now, as GaRpY just has to dig deep and try and find these 4 frags, but he can't, especially if k1llsen hits rails like that. Down to 60 total stack for GaRpY. Next rail will obliterate him, even a little bit of machine gun. It's k1llsen now just taking full control of the map. A little bit of LG, actually misses with the rail. GaRpY's still 20 HP in that rail from around the corner. k1llsen's the one to bend it like Beckham, as he takes the 5 frag lead, and he's going to take this map number 1.
He certainly is indeed. GaRpY played a good game at the start. Oh, good rocket and good rail combo straight afterwards. Just too little too late. 11-5 in favour of k1llsen. k1llsen even himself had a slightly slow start, but managed to put his mark on the map during the second half of Deep Embrace. But 11-5 in terms of damage count, just under 1,500 more damage in favour of k1llsen, showing a huge amount of map presence. A bit more item control as well, but GaRpY was looking very good to begin with. You know, some of the pineapples he's hitting was, you know, the defensive pineapples he was hitting whilst he was trying to contest the heavy was phenomenal. He was just doing some great reactionary plays like we mentioned during the pre-game, but it seemed like afterwards k1llsen just wasn't missing. He was just playing very aggressively like he used to. And the mobility, you know, with Strog, even though it's not too necessary on that map, you can still, you know, flank your opponent and, you know, catch him off guard and cut him off. But it just, yeah, it wasn't enough. It was way too late by then, and GaRpY was struggling to figure out what he could do, even with stack advantage sometimes. But good first map. We'll just have to see what GaRpY can do in the next 2.
Yeah, I think Corrupted Keep is going to be the next one we go to. Overall, I mean, GaRpY, again, not the result that he wanted, but usually we see blowouts on Deep Embrace, so the fact that he kind of at least dictated the pace a little bit and didn't give it up too crazy or let things snowball out of control is usually a good sign. GaRpY played nice and slow, very, very cautious right off the bat, but then as k1llsen, like you said, started to warm up, started chaining those rails together. Not full railson, but definitely on the way to getting there. Corrupted Keep is going to be harder. Again, no rail, so maybe this is the opportunity GaRpY needs. I'm not saying that k1llsen won that one solely relying off the rail, but man, when he hits those off the spawn, you have the stack advantage for about 0.06 seconds and then immediately just get railed twice, and you're like, well, there goes my advantage. That's going to hurt, so it's going to be harder to get that on Corrupted Keep. I believe the champ picks are Ranger versus BJ, I think. So it'll be interesting to see how the Dior plays into this.
Yeah, I do too. You can see from that first map, k1llsen was showing us, you know, first or second form, not his final form as of yet. When it is his final form, we all know exactly how k1llsen plays and what he gets up to. He's just an absolute machine. We call him llsen for a reason. We didn't really see too much of it, and you know, it's quite early days yet. You know, for some players, it may take, you know, until map 2, map 3 to try and field himself a little bit, but you saw during the last few minutes, you saw a sprinkle of flair from k1llsen with that rail here and there, but we'll have to see. But then again, even though it didn't look like he was hitting all his shots with the rail, he still hit 53%. But that is against a larger champion, of course.
And that's on his off day. That's like,
yeah,
that's k1llsen not hitting all his rails, and he's still shooting 53%. So I think a sigh of relief a little bit for GaRpY, knowing that rail won't be an issue here on Corrupted Keep. But k1llsen is still very good at Corrupted Keep as well. So Ranger versus BJ, interested to see how the Dire Orb comes into play. That burst damage might come in handy. I think that might go a long way for GaRpY. If he can get that initial damage, get the jump on k1llsen, and finish off with the orb, I think that is probably the way to roll. We've seen set plays come out from players before, but you have to be just so precise on the timing, and it's such a risk that you don't really see it as often. Will GaRpY be able to bounce back and get himself on the board? Chat, I think locking in your predictions right now is a good idea. If you haven't already, what do we got? Oh, yeah, don't look, Lethal. Don't look. You don't want to know.
Do you know what? I already looked when you said
Did
that.
You?
I was like, yeah, I'm sorry, mate.
No respect for the boy. No respect for the boy. Chat, you're ruthless out there. Sheesh. We'll see. We'll see what GaRpY has. We'll see what he.
I thought it was going to be a bit more in favour of k1llsen actually after that first map, but you know, it's still 88 to 12%. But then again, there's that 12% thinking, you never know. Like GaRpY could actually make something happen now that there's no rail, but you know, it's still going to be a tool, no matter what weapon's not on the map.
The true believers out there. The true believers out there. The 12%. We'll see. We'll see. Put your money where your mouth is. You already have as we go into Corrupted Keep, map number 2 of this set between k1llsen and GaRpY. It's all about the rockets, a little bit of LG, and the heavy machine gun. Probably a lot of shotgun, too, as we're live right now between GaRpY, k1llsen, map number 2. GaRpY, quick start on the rockets, making his way back to the heavy. Dire Orb in hand, ready to make a splash. If he can just catch out k1llsen. The dual wield needs to be wary of that. If he can try and bait that out, it'll be even better to go full in on a fight. But again, another slow start from GaRpY, very cautious, just trying to lay a trap, see exactly where k1llsen is. Did k1llsen spot him? Oh boy, yeah, that rocket. Not big damage, but enough to show GaRpY that he can't stay there. He needs to get away.
Nice game plan there, but it just wasn't to be, as that predicted rocket was beautiful from k1llsen, just in case GaRpY tried to at least contest that mega. GaRpY just playing this very passively, just waiting to see what k1llsen is going to do, but k1llsen's having none of it. He knows that GaRpY's just playing this super passive, some good rockets there, but not enough for k1llsen just to push in straight away, as he's going to flank around into that red room. Good all, but it's just not enough. 36 HP up to 50, gets the mega, and now it's GaRpY on the back foot, but does have the stack advantage here. So if he has the weapons, he can try and trade this out if he finds the opening here, but doesn't get that window of opportunity. k1llsen has already destroyed it.
Big rocket there from GaRpY, needs a little bit more. Okay, that's exactly what he needed. Rocket into shotgun combo. Well done from GaRpY there. Does hear the 50 shard, needs to try and play on this mega, but he gave it up. The concession, never mind that, the whole frag. It's all gone horribly wrong for GaRpY, as k1llsen gets right back into the game just like that.
Some good rockets there from k1llsen. The second to last one was behind him, behind GaRpY rather, to slow him down and stop him from going round outside of the red room to heavy. k1llsen, no good rocket there. GaRpY's going to try and play this out anyway, but k1llsen in the end takes himself out. It would have been taken down anyway, but look at GaRpY's stack. He can still take this next fight, but the dual comes out with a shotgun, does a little bit of damage, not a lot, but just to keep GaRpY on his toes here, as k1llsen has picked up the heavy. Managed to get those hourglasses ready for the next dual. But very, very passive stuff from both of these players. I think it's more the fact that because GaRpY's playing quite defensive, but k1llsen feels like he needs to do the same in order to catch GaRpY off.
GaRpY's in a real bad spot right now, and he knows it. Trying to play off sound cues and just get away. Good job not fully committing around that corner. k1llsen had the LG, but he gets caught out regardless. k1llsen just so good at hunting his prey. The spawn and the rocket pop, the orb to get back in and at least steal the mega. Good heads-up play from GaRpY. That could have been absolutely terrible. Turns nothing into a little something here. Does have LG. k1llsen's going to go in. The wrong weapon out for GaRpY. k1llsen capitalizes. 3-1 now. Still rather weak. Trying to push off the spawn. Needs to be careful with the shotgun blast. Can he get it? And he does. 16 HP. GaRpY very fortunate there. The second one not as chunky as he wanted. He does get that frag back, but k1llsen right off the spawn. And here we go. 3 HP for GaRpY as he ties it up.
Oh, that was great stuff from GaRpY. You saw that he knew he was pretty weak from that last engagement. If he kept his distance enough, the shotgun won't do enough damage in order to take him out before the mega spawns. And he did that comfortably. You know, you saw that was his game plan. He knew that it was still a very risky play, but it was the only way for him to get some kind of comeback going this early on. Good direct, good all, but k1llsen is still the one who takes him out. 20 HP. It's not the first time we've seen k1llsen pretty weak from the last fight, but GaRpY was looking to trade it out, but just a little bit too late. But even though he's got the dual wield, GaRpY has got the heavy. Didn't really last too long, and now needs to try and recover as k1llsen is just flanking around to see if he can find out if he is going to the red room, which he is. Good rocket, good cleanup. Left on 37 HP, but he will recover nicely. But good first rocket. Second didn't do a lot, but it's been noted. He's trying to show that map presence still.
Yeah, GaRpY trying to get those big chunks of shotgun damage. Gets one near the end, but at what cost as he gives up a frag? He's down 2 now, trying to stabilize a little bit here. Really relying on that orb for that last bit of burst damage on some of these frags and just miscalculating. Now slowing down again, throwing out rockets at any choke point he believes k1llsen might be in. I think he heard the drop, not quite yet, as he still thinks he's going to come through that choke point. Mega's going to be up shortly. There's the drop, and k1llsen gets a little bit of damage. And there's the Dire Orb, laying a bit of a trap there. k1llsen gets caught off guard. The LG is spot on. k1llsen very weak. He steals away the heavy, and GaRpY actually goes down. The heavy saving k1llsen. Very unfortunate for GaRpY there, as he's going to try and push off the spawn. Wants to try and get this frag back. He does get the 50 shard. Mega's going to be up shortly. No LG, and through the telly would be suicide right now, as k1llsen flying up above him pushes him off the Mega and gets the frag from downtown with Shoddy Pippin. 7-3. Uh-oh, k1llsen starting to pull away with this one, Lethal.
Yeah, this is getting a bit out of control now. GaRpY really trying to establish himself again, trying to stabilize this map, but k1llsen just letting it get out of control. As soon as one of these players gets full item control, that's where it can go downhill. Not completely, but one player will get a much bigger lead than the other by at least 3 or 4 frags. But k1llsen's still on 65 HP. GaRpY's still got 4 minutes left to make something happen with this stack. He's only on 15 now. This is his window of opportunity to finish him off, which he has done. And look at the stack GaRpY still has. This is his moment to try and push in and make k1llsen's life hell during this map. Again, still got a very healthy stack to work with. He's got the orb in his back pocket as well. He just decides to prioritize this Mega instead, which is coming up in the next 5 seconds. But is k1llsen going to go for it? Decides not to. He's going back towards the heavy spawn. But the question is k1llsen going to go for the heavy as well? He knows he's there. Good rockets from k1llsen, but it looks like, oh, GaRpY needs to try and back away if he can. Look at the stack difference. Amazing stuff from k1llsen to turn that around on its head. And k1llsen's looking to try and get that 10th frag as he drops down with the LG. GaRpY knows he's in a world of trouble, and there we go. k1llsen's still got a great stack and has his dual wield still.
Just brutal there. The Forbidden Dance over the heavy. It goes k1llsen's way. He gets the frag. GaRpY does bully his way onto the Mega and gets the frag. So this could be the turnaround that he needs. 4 frags, 3 minutes. If he could just stabilize and get his stack. He needs more clean kills like that. k1llsen, of course, not going to allow that to happen with 2 big rockets into the shotgun. The defensive play from k1llsen so strong. The dual wield, the rocket, just adding insult to injury now as GaRpY is just going to get caught out again. Good rocket on the way down, but 29 HP. Mega's not going to be up for another 4 seconds. k1llsen is going to push in for this. He does bully GaRpY off the Mega for the time being. And there it is! Oh, the trade comes out. And that, unfortunately, doesn't mean anything for GaRpY, as k1llsen gets the God Spawn. Gets right back in on the Mega. And that might be enough to just seal this one. 5 of 6 frags down with 2:10 left. It's going to be a rough one, Lethal.
It certainly is. Maybe another potential miracle, especially against a player like k1llsen. Again, GaRpY had a very good start, changed the style and the pace of the game compared to what we've seen in the previous map, but it just wasn't enough as k1llsen just treating it like his playground. 14-7 in favour of k1llsen. But GaRpY, though, did really show signs of life in some parts of his matchup, but during the one point where k1llsen got both items and was in full control, GaRpY was just struggling to, you know, control the beast, you could say, like to try and control his motives and what he wants to do around the map, and kind of gave him free range. But GaRpY still managed to take him out here, but still needs 6 frags and get his stack back up. Highly unlikely here, but we can see what we can do. As he managed to clean up another frag, it gets the Mega, so there is some kind of potential here.
More importantly, the dual wield's gone for k1llsen, but unfortunately for GaRpY, so is the heavy, and the shotgun just so strong as he gets up close and personal. With a minute left, it looks like it's going to stay in k1llsen's favor on this map. Through the telly he goes. LG just so on point. GaRpY getting hit with it, doesn't even realize, needs to back up. There's the push. k1llsen wants it, and he's going to get it. There's another frag, 16-9. GaRpY's going to go down for another map, and I don't know what he needs to do. Dig deep, maybe grab a Mr. Kipling's Cherry Bakewell. I don't know. I don't know, Lethal. You tell me. I don't know. What kind of treats does he need to kind of regroup and maybe get this 3rd map off k1llsen?
I don't know, mate. It's pretty mad, isn't it? There's only so much someone can do and eat, but at this moment, not too sure what GaRpY can do here. The GaRpY did have a good start. The only problem is he let the items go a little bit too easy in some areas of the map. And I liked the way he was playing. He was trying to set up traps for k1llsen, but k1llsen wasn't falling for any of it at all. And it was a real shame. And we know what GaRpY can be like. We said it before, he's very reactionary. He will change his style depending on his opponent. And I think he expected k1llsen to be very aggressive at the start. But instead, k1llsen adjusted to his style straight away. He's like, well, if you're going to play defensive, then I'll play your game and do it just that little bit better. And the damage count you can see there, 1,550 more damage in favor of k1llsen, even though GaRpY did have more item control. So did a good job bullying for the items. The only problem was he wasn't really doing much with it. It was k1llsen being able to get the first shot off, the first stack, managed to have some positional advantage as well. There's a lot of little things here and there which took GaRpY off, but it's one of those things. We'll have to see what happens in the third map, but that does mean that k1llsen is now up 2-0 in the series.
Yep, the set goes to k1llsen. There's no question about that, but can GaRpY get in on the third map? It's going to be Exile, so it might be a bit of a wild card here. We'll see. I know k1llsen's the German, but GaRpY might be the one saying 0-9, because if he loses this one, it's 9 maps dropped in a row. And we will see if he has the energy. Chat, predictions, lock them in, give your energy to whoever you want to win. And yeah, Lethal, what do you think about Exile?
Exile in terms of the map itself, I do enjoy it. I still don't think the meta's been established, and it won't do for another 3 to 6 months, which is understandable. But that's what we love about Quake as well, especially with the new maps. It's the fact that we're always going to see some new things all the time consistently. If it's a new spawn trap, a new spawn cycle, in terms of how to control the map and how to position yourself on certain parts of the map. There's a lot of little things, a lot of nicks and crannies which we still need to wait to be figured out by these top players. And I feel like the more we've seen Exile now, the more people are starting to establish their style and how they want to play Exile. And also it depends on the champion picks as well. We've seen a wide range, we've seen quite a few Athenas, we've seen a lot of Nixes as well. And we'll have to see what these two can do here. As we saw when Deep Embrace first came out, it was almost in every single series. Everyone loved that map, and Exile plays a little bit similar, not just because it's a small map, but just how it pans out in terms of where the items and the weapons are placed are quite similar. So we'll have to see going into this third and final map. But you saw it from the LG. Look at the LG damage from k1llsen. He still had 46%, considering the amount of shots he pulled off. Unreal.
Just brutal. Brutal. The Rockets as well. So strong from the German. Yeah, as we go into Exile, it looks like it's going to be Galena and Anarchy. So Galena might have a little trick or two. Maybe 3 for the overstack. We'll see. Using the Anarchy, of course, sometimes you get caught up in the speed, and if you run into a totem, maybe that ruins your momentum and throws you off the map. It'll be interesting to see how k1llsen handles that. I'm sure he's planned and prepped for that, as both players have probably put in a lot of practice on Exile, but you never know. It's going to be interesting to see. It's a bit of a wild card. It is a relatively new map. There are some things that haven't been tried, tested. I'm sure people have some things in their pocket, but the story moving forward, k1llsen wins the set. Can GaRpY put himself on the board? Again, every map is money, and tea cakes don't buy themselves, Lethal.
No. Absolutely not. I don't know how expensive you think tea cakes are.
I have no idea what the exchange rate is. I think like $6 American is like 45. I don't know, or maybe 45 cents, 50 cents. I don't know over there. I don't know. It's bad. I imagine it's bad.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad, but we'll have to see. I don't know. With Exile, it's nice to see a wide variety of champions being used. Like I said earlier, we had the Athena versus the Nyx. This time we're seeing Anarchy and Galena. And with Galena, that's the thing with the Galena. It's the fact with the totems, no matter where you put them, you can even put them through in front of a lot of the tellies, or you can use them just put them in your back pocket in order to recover certain areas. But even if you put them in basement, in you could say on the rail jump pad or in the rail area, it forces your opponent to have to drop down and give up height advantage on so many different occasions. But then again, depends how many line of sight you can actually see, because you can shoot down, for example, the totem at the rail jump pad from Mega and bits and pieces like that. So I'm pretty sure they're going to know all the little bits here and there anyway, but we'll have to see what they can do with these two champion picks between GaRpY and k1llsen. So it's going to be Exile again. It's the second time we've seen it today, and see if GaRpY can bring back a map number 3 win, or if k1llsen would be the one with the clean sweep. As GaRpY, very good start from him.
Big damage with the nail gun and a shotgun combo to get that first frag. Really weak. Trying to hit him with the gauntlet. It actually pays off. Just a little boop, and k1llsen takes himself out. GaRpY maintains the lead and now has a fresh stack, and that couldn't have gone better.
yeah, could have been worse. He's very, very lucky in that situation. As k1llsen gets to heavy uncontested. It's the first rail. He knows GaRpY's in a world of trouble here. Trying to get that second rail, but look at the movement from k1llsen. He's definitely played this map a few times here for you.
Yeah, I think he's had a little bit of practice as the injury comes out, but lots of damage coming out from GaRpY as he's going duck hunting, picks him out of the sky, barely surviving. Extremely weak right now. Does have a totem, but he's taking a lot of LG damage as k1llsen just hops right in and steals that Mega right out from under him. Does eat a totem, can't take down the second, but the heavy is up. It's in k1llsen's possession, so stacks about even now. Yeah, k1llsen just no problem traversing the map with Anarchy. Speed is not an issue here, but it is going to be for GaRpY. k1llsen is everywhere GaRpY wants to be. Inject coming back up in 5 seconds. Is the rocket around the corner? Ooh, GaRpY takes a direct. Make that two. k1llsen hitting him with the dunks. That is brutal. Barely missing out on that rail. Fantastic retaliation from GaRpY. Can he thread the needle there? A little bit of rocket damage into the rail. No dice, but still the rockets. GaRpY, please! And oh, the rail gets him right in the toesies. k1llsen just so hot right now.
That was so risky. I'm surprised he even went ahead and tried to go for that, but well played from k1llsen to pull that off. For at some point, even then, GaRpY will make something happen, but that's the advantage of the height which k1llsen had. He could find the rockets down and rain it down and then get the combo rail afterwards, but GaRpY couldn't. He was just trying to look for that one rail shot. Just sadly for him, couldn't pull it off. Another great rail from k1llsen, misses the second, but it doesn't matter. The damage has been done. It's just a matter of GaRpY, is he going to fight back or not? But k1llsen turned away as soon as he repeats, but GaRpY got the heavy. This could be a complete game changer here. Oh, k1llsen just barely missed that last rail, but decides to drop down, go for the light anyway. Might be able to corner him off, but GaRpY knows that k1llsen will most probably go for that next light, so decides to teleport back away. He knows the Mega's up in the next 7 seconds, with the heavy coming up soon after. And k1llsen does have that inject if he wants to use it, if he's in a world of trouble.
Misses with the first rail, connects with the second as he doubles back to the Mega. Heavy goes to GaRpY as he pushes through the Telly. LG out, doing decent damage here. Inject is available for k1llsen. Just holding off on it, keeping that in the pocket. Missed rail from GaRpY. It would have been huge here as k1llsen goes, traverses the map to grab the other 50 shard. Good rail from GaRpY, but he's so weak. Now the pounce from k1llsen. Mere seconds away as he smells blood in the water. The inject comes out for a little bit of extra stack. GaRpY healing back up off his totem, waiting on the Mega, and k1llsen and GaRpY will swap items.
k1llsen just doing a good job taking out all these totems, just being a pain in the backside. GaRpY at the moment hasn't got any totems up at all. So if he does want that overstack, it's going to be a long time until he gets the chance to do that. As k1llsen still keeping that height advantage, abusing these audio cues. Good rail shots from k1llsen. It's been hit and miss throughout the course of this map, but as the map has progressed, he's starting to hit them more and more. Another one. He needs to back away though. Gets the heavy. GaRpY is available. He sure is now, as k1llsen is on the hunt and he has the inject if he does need to use it. The items aren't coming up for the next 20 seconds. He's assuming that GaRpY is going to drop down at some point to the rail, which he has done. Waiting for him to go through. Good rockets there. Could be a matter of time until he's finished off. Yes, he has. Good rail shot from k1llsen. Run out of rockets, but good spawn rail there on the rocket drop down.
Really good shots coming out from k1llsen. As again, items swapped from both players. k1llsen takes 2 frag lead, looking to extend here. Again, it's not Railson, but he's still shooting 42%, and this is an off day for him. Not terrible here, as Inject's going to have to wait 22 seconds. Goes through the telly, takes a lot of damage as GaRpY. The rockets are spot on, forcing k1llsen off. But can he attack? And there's GaRpY. He's got to try and push this. Just trading items over and over again is not in his favor here. He does push k1llsen away, and k1llsen just gets in on that heavy, just barely taking out the totem in time. Inject back up again. k1llsen doing a great job of keeping that in his back pocket as GaRpY's just trying to get in on anything and do some damage, get up close and personal, land a couple of rockets. There's the jump pad, but the LG from k1llsen's so strong, the swap to rockets should be able to do it, and it does, and the inject saves his life. Needle in the arm, rocket out. k1llsen up by 3, right off the spawn, taking quite a bit of damage. Needs to be very, very careful here.
Yeah, that's one thing to make note of, which is a very valid point you made, 40, is the fact that he doesn't use the inject that much throughout this third and final map, but to be fair, he doesn't really need to use it. He just wants to keep it as a safety net in case he's on the back foot in a certain engagement, like that last fight where he survived on 41 HP, and without it, he would have been in a world of trouble. As k1llsen now still has a 5-2 lead. Trying to figure out what GaRpY could be doing here. He knows he's going to be going for the heavy, gets the first rail. Great stuff. He's letting him have it so he can get the mega fort himself. This next light will be crucial. He's waiting for GaRpY to port through, realise he will not be doing that, and gets the light for himself. As k1llsen just had, keeping this height advantage, he's had it for like almost the entire game. The only time he hasn't had it is when he's dropping down for the light, the rail, or for the heavy. So he's done a good job just being a real pain in the backside to GaRpY. But GaRpY's still got plenty of time left, still got 3 minutes and 15 left on the clock, still got 3 frags to try and get. Going to pick up the mega and the light again, and is on a very healthy stack. But GaRpY isn't too far behind either. Just k1llsen playing with his food a little bit, baiting out when he goes for the portal, when he's not going through, and just being really annoying for GaRpY. GaRpY needs to try and find a way to cut off k1llsen's path.
He might eat a whole bunch of damage right here, and what?
Oh, what's in there?
I'm not sure if that rocket splash hit GaRpY or if he just slid on a piece of ice, but either way, he took a toll and he took a ride. So there goes GaRpY. Yeah, he slipped. There needs to can Syncare put some signs in the map? Slippery, please. 7-2 for k1llsen here. It's raining down damage from above. GaRpY trying to fight his way out, but the rockets can't save him. The rail will land 8-2 for k1llsen now.
There's nothing wrong with slipping. It's fine. Nothing to worry about. But what I am worried about now is the fact that time is of the essence. GaRpY needs 7 frags. He's playing, using some desperate methods of attack to try and take down k1llsen, but it's just not going to happen. As GaRpY managed to contest that mega well, manages to grab it, but still took such a huge chunk of damage from k1llsen. k1llsen's just doing everything that needs to be done perfectly here, and GaRpY's just running out of answers and ideas on what to do and to go about this. As GaRpY still has 1:35 left, but to get 7 frags, highly doubtful.
Missing that rail. Not that it matters, but just interesting to note as k1llsen is on his way, it looks like, to the 3rd and final victory of this set, completing the clean sweep here. As k1llsen's been in the kitchen cooking up something delicious. Up the jump pad to his death. Can he hit the air rocket? No. k1llsen trying to put on a show here as GaRpY does go back up the jump pad and gets that frag with the LG, but with a minute left, 6 down, it's going to take a miracle. k1llsen has the speed on his side. There's good LG out of the telly again, but k1llsen should be able to get away, no problem here. As he dealt with the totems nicely. I mean, this was never really a question of whose map this was. I mean, even if you look at it, it looks like there's Bavarian cream all over the map, right, Lethal? This was all k1llsen all the way through. And yeah, the clean sweep will be complete. Unfortunately for GaRpY, he's going to go 0-9. And look at this cheeky spot. Look at this guy. Good rocket there from, I don't even know what to call that. We'll call that ice chandelier from now on, Lethal. What do you think?
Yeah, we'll call it that, yeah. I'll have to agree with you on that one. But yeah, it's yeah, GaRpY just didn't have any chance of an overstack. He had the terms in his pocket in order to regain some kind of control mid-fight, but that's literally about it. k1llsen was all over him. He had height advantage throughout, what, like 7-8 minutes of the game, and couldn't find any kind of window of opportunity. So certainly for GaRpY, that will be a 0-3 series scoreline for him, 40. k1llsen with a 3-0, which is kind of what we predicted. And yeah, look at the damage counter again. 1,207 more damage done for k1llsen in comparison on a map like Exile as well, with some decent item control. GaRpY still had good item control throughout all these maps. It just couldn't really do much with it, sadly.
Yeah, and the predictions. Who lost all their points? Oh, that was brutal. 94% to 6. Shame on you guys for not having more faith in GaRpY. But yeah, this was all k1llsen. GaRpY did have that great play though, right at the start. But after about the first 2 minutes, it was the k1llsen show. 3-0, and GaRpY's got to dig deep and bounce back. It's been a rough 3 weeks for him. Hopefully he can get back to form, maybe grind it out with the Maestro boys, get some in-house sets running. But yeah, I think I speak for all of chat when we say we'd love to see GaRpY get back to form.
Yeah, it certainly does have to, indeed. And I think I'm just sad for you, really, because I think you've lost all your channel points, haven't you?
I got nothing. Yeah, I got nothing. I believed, you know, I'm not biased here, but I believed in GaRpY, and he let me down. So, oh, okay, it was a rocket jump. I was wondering what happened, and then k1llsen.
I'm just gonna say he slipped.
Yeah, he slipped and fell. It's icy. It's icy out there, Lethal. It's icy out there. If we take a look at the highlights again, GaRpY goes down 0-3 to k1llsen. k1llsen, maybe a return to form? I don't know. We didn't really see k1llsen throughout any of those maps, but glimmers, little glimmers, strung together some maybe 3 or 4 rails at a time. But even on that map, 41% on an off day, not terrible. Not terrible, but we're used to seeing like 70s, maybe 80s, but I'm sure he'll be back.
Yeah, he will be. I think I'm not sure if he still is, but he was trying out a new mouse, and I think he was going to try out during this stage. It could be why his rail's been a little bit off. I could be completely wrong. It's just from what I remember him saying a couple of weeks ago, but that could be one of the reasons why. And that's why it could be off and on and a little bit inconsistent with his rails here and there. But he did enough damage anyway. Like, even though his tracing, in terms of his rail wasn't the best, like, I think it's because we're used to him doing damage not damage, but the percentage in the 60s and the 70s. When we see it like 43%, etc., we're just like, oh, that's a little bit of a surprise. When actually, that's actually still quite good, depending on what kind of champion you're playing against. But so far, so good. k1llsen's still doing k1llsen things with his movement and positioning. His aim, a tiny bit off, but we'll let him off for that one. He still played extremely well.
Yep, we're about halfway through, folks. We still got a lot of action coming up. And don't forget DJ Wheat stopping by in the last 2 sets of the day. But let's take a quick break, and we'll be back with Rafa versus Nosfa.